four-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty, the golden voice of Neal Ruhl, and the iconic Terry Foster. Sit back and relax. It's time for your daily dose of Big D energy.
Yo, welcome back everybody to Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is, that'll never not make me laugh. My name is Neal Ruhl, that guy over there, D-Mac, Darren McCarty, four-time Stanley Cup champion. We have Sam Flannel and Spencer Raxter back. Wow. They got called up to the show yesterday, but they're back here.
Wow. Two-way contracts, boys. Two-way contracts. Keep working on the one-way.
We got flexed to the final word.
You absolutely did. You must be America's hero. Exactly. A lot like Aaron Rodgers. Certainly got a big-time show lined up for you guys today. Certainly with what happened last night, Monday Night Football, with Damar, Hamlin, in everybody's thoughts. There is no question about that. And D-Mac, look, I'm very much in your lane guy. I know about broadcasting a lot. I know about sports a little. I try not to stray too far out. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a Twitter doctor. All I know is this. Mama was in the ambulance, man. And it just, that made me feel like it's going to be okay. For real. I saw that mentioned on Twitter. I got a tear in my eye. I'm not going to lie about it. Like, I did get a tear in my eye. Mama was in the ambulance, man. He's going to pull through. I believe that. I believe that in my heart.
Yeah, no, wow. I mean, for all of us, I think coming off of the show yesterday and everybody excited and what a big game that was, that reality of life at certain times in sports hit us. And the fact that I think the two biggest things, talking about the mothers, and I guess that's what you want. You want to have your mama there. So like you said, Neal, that you had in your heart to feel that it's okay. And I also saw T. Higgins, who was hit on the play. Something that's got to be emotional for him, was walking out of Cincinnati with his mom too. So you know what, that's where family, and you know what, shout out to the coaches, Zach Taylor and Sean McDermott, for the humanitarian, and I think that in all cases, in the worst case scenario, the best thing has happened. Now we're waiting to see if this young man's going to be okay and be able to live his life, forget about playing and worrying about the football. But last night was a reality check for a lot of reasons, and we could get into it. It reminded me immediately of two incidents in my career. I was playing in the game when Chris Pronger got hit with the shot that stopped his heart at Joe Louis Arena, and
take us through the psychology of that for you. Even like you're competing against them, you're on the other team, but you are part of the players' union together. I mean, to some degree, you're on the same team.
And here's where it goes deeper, that you don't know how much history you have. I'll speak with my personal history with Chris Pronger, that I played against him I've known him since I was 16 years old, playing Junior B when he was playing in Peterborough, playing against him, being a rival, him being this and fierce competitor, and always make fun. He's got little feet and a little head, but and a big stick, right? And a strong guy. But when that happens, and I remember it happened inside their blue line, where it was more of like a dump-in, and I forget, but he got hit and he went down. And you don't think about this. This doesn't happen that often, but immediately everybody knew the situation, was able to get him off, and because of that, I know that equipment has been used, that they have a heart protector for kids and stuff like this now. And the other one, I wasn't at Joe Louis Arena for, but I was on the bike. We had a game in Calgary when I was in Calgary, when Yuri Fisher collapsed on the bench, and without the AED. But the difference is that I called back and I knew that he was going to be okay even before I stepped on the ice. So a lot of this is the history that you don't know. Yeah, you're fierce competitors, and especially in physical games like football and hockey and stuff like that, where it's like it's a violent sport, but at the end of the day, it's life. And I think that this is sort of a reality check, and maybe it's a good reality check, everything come at the beginning of 2023, because as the NFL being the biggest thing, everybody experienced this, right? We saw Twitter last night and everybody following it. And I think a point was made up is that the Twitterverse beats every newscast and every report that you can get, where you'd be, back in the day, you'd be hanging on an ESPN or something for an update. No, you sit on your phone and at least you feel better. And it leads me back around, Neal, to what you said about how awful that situation has to be for any parent being in the stands, but the fact that the mom was in the ambulance and at the hospital, and you saw the fact that on a human level, right, the Cincinnati Bengals and the Buffalo Bills, the fans, they realize how big this is too. You know what I'm saying? And they should be commended because we're all in this together. We love football as a sport and these athletes, and I think that this is just the reality check of the danger that it can be sometimes.
No, and I remember, too, I was at that Lions game in 1997 when Reggie Brown injured his spinal cord, and Barry Sanders went over 2,000 yards, and the Lions won and made the play. Like, it was, I'll never forget, this is like etched into my brain forever. I was sitting above the tunnel, and like right away, Johnny Morton comes sprinting down to the tunnel to like get the medical personnel, get the ambulance out here, like get out here. And I'll never forget that. It is, and like how just everything changes at a finger snap. Like, and everything is different. And obviously seeing it last night, seeing him go down, and then you see it on social media again. Just when somebody goes down like that, just limp, like with the no movement. You know what I'm saying? Like it's sobering, it's scary, it's all those things.
And if you didn't see that, look at the emotions from the players, right? The
these
teammates,
dudes,
the Stephon Diggs, and
the baddest dudes in the world that go to combat. Like, we can say what they want, they go to combat. Every single Sunday. That's what NFL football is, everyone. I know we like our beers and we like our chicken wings and our fantasy football and all that stuff. They play a violent game. That's the reality of the situation. And these dudes that play this violent, and I've always said this, D-Mac, and I've always talked about it, where guys that play that game for a living are different. You're a different dude to play that game for. You have to go to a place mentally, I would imagine, that we are not even capable of understanding. And you to some degree, I mean, you played one of the fastest games on earth.
Part of it, what do we always talk about? What's the best ability in sports?
Availability.
And you know what? You're putting your body on the line. That's why, the evolution with everything else, and why, with the concussions and the different things is the evolve. But I mean, here's the one thing to be grateful to the medical staff, the people that needed to be at the top of their game in the most critical moment were, right? And I say that because I think back that the most emotional one for me is when you're watching the guy that you won the Stanley Cup with, the guy you consider a brother, and Yuri Fisher, and the fact that Dr. Colucci and the medical staff was able to administer the AED. Now we know, he's got the shocks and jocks, and how imperative it is to have those defibrillators in every arena now and stuff like this. So that's when we're looking at it now. From the 30,000 foot view, is that, like, hats off to Buffalo and Cincinnati and all the medical staff and guys, because like you said, in that moment of Johnny Morton running, to know how severe it was, when the guys gathered around and sort of didn't let anybody, you could see
they were
the
pros,
severity.
man. They were pros.
And so as much as we talk about we talk about how tragic it is and these things happen, at least the safety valve was in place, and the people that needed to be on top of their games were. And that's all the way until we get, till we hear that he's in critical, but he's incubated and sedated and stuff like this. And so to me, that was easier to lay my head on the pillow last night to go to bed.
Yeah, because the pros were pros, man. And I read places, and I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm not reporting on it. I'm just going by what I read, and I don't know how right it is or wrong it is. But, CPR on the field for 9 minutes. You know what I mean? People were going to work.
Scary. Like we're not doctors and whatever else, but to and then to realize that it's important because it's keeping the blood flowing and all this different stuff. But my initial reaction is that can't be good. Isn't that like lead to like brain damage or oxygen or something? So you get scared. But the fact is that they knew what to do. I didn't have to know what to do as long as they knew what to do. And, it'll be interesting. All our fingers crossed. I just hope this, young man's able to pull through.
Yeah, absolutely. And I saw, people in the chat. And I know, look, I'm not one of these people that's going to twist words to fit my narrative or anything like that. I saw people asking, and we had this conversation around the office today, like realistically, not being a dick, like realistically, with the logistics of the season, like how do you even go about having that discussion about what do you do about the game?
Well, it's a good thing that your commissioner gets paid $46 million a year.
Exactly.
So he can probably, this is like, probably
is there
he's
a
going
right
to have to earn his pay. I don't have the answer.
I don't have an answer either.
Heard you guys talking about it. I have that question too, but I don't know. I think the number one concern that everybody is what is the update that we hear out of the hospital today?
Yeah, and that's it, and then you kind of work backwards from there. So again, there are tons of questions that will have to be answered, but the biggest question I think that was answered last night was the medical professionals were really good at their job. That's it, hard stop. So the people that were there, they did the job. So. It's one of those things where it puts a lot of things in check for you. And I think it was a D's 411 earlier in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. And get involved, get your thoughts out there. Save the political stuff. Not ever going to read that, ever, because I don't care. So and we're not going there as a show because it's not relevant. So save it. You can, if you want to use the energy and type it out. It's not getting read. That is where I'm going to draw the line on the stuff. But with all that being said, I saw a D said, 411 said, they're like gladiators in the arena, and we expect them to have no human emotions and stuff like that. That was the one that got me last night, to see offensive linemen in tears, like moments after that stuff happened. Josh Allen, obviously, and Joe Burrow, and like the coolest dudes under pressure. I mean, pressure relative to a sport, but you know what I mean. And that was the one that got you. And mom was in the ambulance, man. So that's what I think. I think it'll be okay. I don't. That's what I choose to believe.
Do you have any? What was the consensus of just talking about it? How do they? What can happen?
I don't know.
Like
no one has an answer for that one, man. Because what do you do? Because you have to. And look, we're in a day and age right now where you have to be careful with what you say and all those kinds of things. And even if you have good intentions, D-Mac, how it's going to be construed, what the room is like, how do you even bring that up? How do you talk about the game? When is the right time? How do you revisit it? When do we decide that? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I don't know. No one knows.
Add another week on the season, or
who knows, man? Yeah, But how do you do that, like timing wise?
I have no. Like I said, I'm not getting paid $46 million, or else you know what? I would have to answer that question.
Right. Like that's what it is, man. So again, we're thinking about it. Obviously, we're hoping for the best, and it is good to see. I guess I read vital signs were like reestablished, right? Like, yeah, everybody marked me on that.
Yeah, he so obviously he went into cardiac arrest on the field. They administered the CPR. They got his pulse back, but he wasn't breathing on his own when they took him in the ambulance. So they got him to the hospital, and he was in critical condition. Made sure everything was good. Got him, back to I don't know what state you want to put it at, but they put a tube down his throat to make sure everything was going on, to run some tests, and I haven't heard anything after that.
Yeah. So that's where it's at. That's what we know to some degree. And again, I'm not reporting from the scene. I don't know. I know the exact same things that you guys do. So that's it. That's all. We're gonna press on. We got the show lined up for you. Lions Packers get flexed to Sunday Night Football. We'll discuss. We have some Jim Harbaugh news from Michigan apologists in the media. So it's real. So we have to go to Sam Flannel and have that discussion. We will get to that as well. A couple of nickel packages lined up for you. And those are going to be the discussions. D-Mac and I, too, will talk some Red Wings coming up in the second hour of the show. They're going to get some bodies back soon, so we will digest it all and some Lions topics as well. But we appreciate you guys tapping into the woodwardsports.com chat thread. Let me tell you about the Sports Marketing Agency. They spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast is called This is the S Word. It's helping fight the stigma about seeking help. If you're struggling, go to thesportsma.com. If you know someone that's struggling, go to thesportsma.com. The Sports Marketing Agency, they're here to help.
We here at Woodward Sports would like to thank everybody who helped us stuff our studio. The third annual Stuff a Studio was a major success, thanks in part to our partners at Guardian Alarm and Myers Stores for making it all possible. And of course, we couldn't do it without our community leaders and viewers like you. Thank you for dropping off toys to our studio that were taken to the Mott Children's Hospital in Ann Arbor so every sick child could have a happy holiday.
We are incredibly grateful for Woodward Sports, Guardian Alarm, and Meyer for making the holidays so special for our patients and families.
So what we do is try to bring some normalcy to their lives at this time. This is a labor of love. It brings so much joy, and not just for the families and for the children, but for our staff.
Thank you.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy, better sleep, blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
Neal Ruhl here for Bedrock Detroit. Downtown Detroit's all decked out this winter season with the return of the Cadillac Lodge in Monroe Street Midway. The giant slide, the bumper cars, indoor arcade, drinks at the lodge, everybody. That's a good cold weather activity. That's a good warm weather activity, too. Have some fun when you go downtown. 4 games, Red Wings, Pistons. When you see the Red Wings make that playoff push, because they're back, baby. They are back. And when you go downtown to LCA, slide by Bedrock Detroit and the downtown Detroit Monroe Street Midway. Shop, eat, and play downtown all winter long with Decked Out Detroit. Go to deckedoutdetroit.com for more information. Back at it here, off and rolling, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, no T-Foss, he'll be back tomorrow. Sam Flannel, you can catch him on the final word from 2 to 4.
Woo!
Sam Flannel has been flexed to the final word.
Flannel, you fly? Wait, that's 2 in a row?
He's been flexed twice in a row.
Look at this guy.
Well, Spence, I guess you just
Wow,
don't
do you
pack
know
the
what?
gear.
Right,
See what I tell you,
don't fill
Neal?
the seats.
No.
See? He answers the bell, he comes in, he faces the firing squad, and good things happen.
Yep. Tom Mazaway will be back, I'm heard.
Yes.
He will. It'll be Sam, and Matt.
Sam, you're
Sam
more
with
Buffalo.
Matt.
You're more Buffalo than you are Cal. Cal's run from the storm, and the storm catches them, and they still get it. Where Buffalo's run into the storm,
And get it over with.
Get it over with.
Gotta take my medicine. I talked a lot of smack. I think I may have disrespected TCU, and I can't just run from it. It's all good.
Well, that's a weird tack to
Worst
take.
take of the year. Disrespect to TCU or Scott Frost.
But
Sam
hey, I don't know. But you know what? Regardless, I was rewarded with my second consecutive day at the final word. I'm growing up before everybody's eyes.
Yeah, we got waters delivered to us yesterday. I was sitting at the desk, and Lydia brings a water over. It's got the straw and everything. I was like,
what?
There's no lemon in this. Send it back.
Hey, did everything work?
Everything worked.
Wow, that's weird.
It's like a whole new world.
WoodwardSports.com chat threads. I lost the message, so forgive me not crediting who asked the question. They said, Darren McCarty, what would you do about the game?
Well, no, and I put it out in the chat thread, and Alicia, yes, I have to give Brandon Katz credit because he's so bad takes so many times, but when he has a good idea, and I can't poo-poo this one, right? Do they make it a tie?
I said no contest.
Or do they make it a no contest?
Yeah.
Like you said, and go by
percentages,
winning percentage and stuff like
for all your tiebreakers, right? Because it's not a division game, but it's a conference game. So you wherever the tiebreakers come in for conference play, you make it by winning percentage.
And I see a lot of people saying,
games.
well, why don't you move it back to later in the week and then you move next week's games back? No, because what you're going to do, and Brandon said this too, is you can't force a team to play 3 games in 10 days. Right? So I think more so that it might be a no contest. I see people saying, well, the Bengals were winning, but it wasn't an official game. So I think that it's either going to be a tie or maybe no contest if they don't play it.
I mean, and again, the old sports book rule, they got to play 55 minutes for a game to pay out, or else it's a no contest.
Right.
In the eyes of the sports books. I think we just came up with that a couple minutes ago. So, that's maybe that's how you roll it. I don't know. But, obviously just hoping for the best for him and certainly for his family as well. Lions-Packers game got flexed to Sunday Night Football, and there was never a chance that this wasn't going to happen. And
Lions fans!
And Lions fans, you can do it now. You can watch Seattle. Seattle's going to play at 4 o'clock. You can see how that shakes out, and then we'll know what the fate is. And, guys, look. It was cute because Fish came in here, and he's like, how can they do that? They're going to play Seattle at a different time. They're supposed to play them at the same time. Yes, they are. They treat them all the same, differently. Because the bottom line is, with all apologies to the bottom line here, it's Aaron Rodgers. No matter what Seattle does, it's winning in for Aaron Rodgers.
Absolutely.
And if you're NBC, I know what game I'm taking if I'm NBC. I'm taking Aaron Rodgers in a winning-in scenario.
In Green Bay.
In Green Bay, in January, at the frozen tundra, and his greasy hair, and his bad attitude, and all that stuff.
He hasn't lost a game. Well, never mind. Doesn't matter. I was going to say December. It's not December anymore. But he hasn't lost a game in December under Matt LaFleur.
Right. No,
yeah, well, that's
absolutely.
why we're getting him in January
now.
Excited. You excited?
No, and look, I know everybody's, excited, but guess what? NBC's not doing this for the Lions. And the Lions will just be in the way.
Care.
No, I know, but I'm saying
Neal.
everybody mentally prepare yourself for how this is going to go down Sunday, right? This is an Aaron Rodgers coronation. And if anything, I think deep down in their heart that you do this, you want a result from that Seattle game. Because if Seattle wins, and D-Mac, you tell me, this is where I'm going to go to you. Is it human nature? If Seattle wins, obviously Detroit, the game becomes meaningless to Detroit.
No, it's not meaningless. It's not meaningless.
D-Mac, mathematically it's meaningless. And
no, okay, but you asked me the question in this locker room.
Yes.
It's absolutely not meaningless because this could be they're trying to set the precedent.
But I'm talking about you psychologically. Are you still able to get to the same place you would be?
You know what I'd be thinking, and this is what they're thinking. If that's the case, then I got one more game left this year. I better lay everything on the line, and I can ruin this guy's playoff future, who is just the biggest arrogant ass, in the league and stuff like this. It's a team that we always have to go through. It's the perfect scenario. So no, you got nothing to save it for, right? You're going to throw everything on the line, and it's different. It's different because of this Detroit Lions team, where they've come from, what they've built. This is their Super Bowl. Regardless of the Seattle wins or not, this is the Super Bowl of the year. And I think that if you would have said at 1-6 that you have an opportunity to control the Packers' destiny by beating them last game of the year, right? Forget the fact that you might make the playoffs if Seattle wins. Just that statement, especially after 1-6. You're going to take it. You're just be motivated. This game's been on the calendar.
Which I agree with. And Andrew Klingerman says at WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Neal, stop with the nonsense. Those players want to beat Rodgers and stick it to their division rival. Come on now, look at the culture we have. And Andrew, I don't disagree with that. I'm asking D-Mac, psychologically, mentality, can you get to the same place you can get to knowing that, hey, you can tell me about semantics and how it matters to them and stuff like that. But as far as the playoffs go, if Seattle wins, it's over. The season's over.
But there's also the mentality of this is the last game of the year, so I can.
But can you get to the same place?
Yeah, you
Okay.
can. You'll
Okay.
be okay. Here's what you're gonna do. Seattle's gonna lose, or Seattle's gonna win, and you're gonna go, fuck. And then immediately you're gonna think right there between that time of what do you got, an hour, right? An hour between the kickoff is you'll think about, you know what you do, Neal? You think about what you let go, the plays that you didn't make, why you're in this situation, and then you use this game because it's the last game of the year to set the precedence of what the Detroit Lions are going to be. It's almost like the hard knocks at the end of the year. If this is what things are different. So regardless that you're not in the playoffs, this game will set a precedence for the rest of the league to look at. And if you can knock Green Bay out at home, I mean, and think about it. Aaron Rodgers hasn't been that rock star at home in the playoffs or in January or later in the season when it comes down to it, like we've expected in the past, right? You're the one factually telling me that he's won one Super Bowl and gotten there, what? How many times? Twice?
Oh, it loses every big game.
That's what I'm saying.
Every big game at home in the playoffs.
Especially against San Francisco.
Yeah, especially against San Francisco. No, and look, guys, hey, don't get this twisted. I dislike Aaron Rodgers with the fire of a million suns. The Con Air outfits, I've been immunized to COVID, the greasy hair.
That was the worst one. I'm immunized.
Yeah, I've been immunized, yes.
Yeah.
And then what made it worse, the media getting all mad at him because they weren't smart enough to ask the question.
Yeah.
Like, that's the other thing to me. The Con Air outfits, the greasy hair, the peyote trips, the colon cleanses.
Hey.
Yeah.
Leave the peyote alone.
Peyote's fine.
No, I want.
All right. So we're picking and choosing. Okay, I got you. We're picking and choosing. Where do you stand on the greasy hair?
No, just don't. No, him, it's not cool. But just like,
thank you. That's my point.
Like
yeah.
Sam Flannel and Joshua Tree.
Sam Flannel doing it, that's fine. I got no problem with that.
Absolutely.
I'm cool with it. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Don't bust our guy here.
Okay, fine. The colon cleanses. Like, come on, man. No one cares about your colon cleanses, bro. Nobody.
I gave myself an enema.
Yeah, I don't care.
I don't need to know that.
Yeah. I don't care.
TMI.
I don't care that you dress up like Nick Cage from Con Air and roll into the facility. I don't care about any of that, dude. And you know what? When you want to be truthful about it, you got one, but you've been pretty mid the rest of the time, if we're just being fair. Great regular season quarterback. Yeah. You're pretty much the Michigan Wolverines of quarterbacks. Ooh. That's pretty much what you are.
4 regular season MVPs is not mid, and I'm not going to like...
Great guy.
I'm just saying.
When you play in the Big Ten of the NFL throughout these years...
That's 4 regular season MVPs. He's probably the best regular season quarterback ever. That does matter for something. Cool
story.
Okay, fine. You're acting like it just means absolutely nothing. That's the problem with
what's his legacy? What's his legacy right now?
It means that you're a regular season guy.
Yeah.
That when the bright lights come on, I mean, hey.
Like Peyton Manning.
Yeah, you're the Atlanta Hawks of the 80s. Like,
his
cool
legacy,
story.
No, but he got one, though. Dominique Wilkins didn't get one. He cashed it in. His legacy is... probably a top 7 to 10 quarterback of all time, maybe top 5 if he plays a few more years and maybe gets another Super Bowl. That's a good legacy. And he's owned the NFC North. The Lions would kill to have had the decade that Aaron Rodgers has. And that's factual.
No doubt. No doubt. I don't dispute that.
All right.
But this whole he's a tier below all the greats. He is.
I mean, like I said, I think top 7 to 10 is fine, but that's about where he is.
Who had a better legacy, Aaron Rodgers or Ben Roethlisberger?
Aaron Rodgers. Ben Roethlisberger never won a regular season MVP, and he was carried to his first Super Bowl. That 06 Super Bowl, that was not Ben Roethlisberger's Super Bowl. Did you see his stats? Antoine Randall had to throw a touchdown pass for him. That's how bad he was.
Did you see that throw he made to win the Super Bowl against the Cardinals?
Yeah, that was a great throw. But
that was one of the most iconic plays in Super Bowl history.
That's fair, but he never had a Super Bowl performance as good as Aaron Rodgers did against the Steelers. Against Ben Roethlisberger's Steelers, by the way. That was a great Super Bowl performance by Aaron
again,
Rodgers.
It's all what you're into.
That is true.
That is,
yeah.
Beat
that
him
is
in the Super Bowl, I forgot about
right, but it's all what you're into, though.
Yeah.
You know, I think Sam Flannel's proven he's very much into good regular seasons and thinks those are fine. What? Hey, I'll say WoodwardSports.com.
Sometimes guys separate their college fandom and their pro fandom, but Sam's is the same, right? Mid fandom. But you know what's not mid? Lady Jade's. Check it out. Thank you, Bethany. Come to Lady Jade's for award-winning Haircut experience and register for once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win a down payment for your dream home up to $200,000. Yes, I said it, $200K. So get to Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
Time to talk about the Matrix.
Take the blue pill.
But don't call me Morpheus. Matrix Home Solutions is your go-to for any home project. Jesus Christ. Looking for a new man cave? They are the basement remodel experts. They also specialize in bathrooms and kitchens. An A+ rating by the Better Business Bureau. Call 888-594-8844 or go to matrixhomesolutions.com.
But don't call me Morpheus.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal, Ruhl, Darren, McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter, WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Ethan Brown says, don't get mad when Neal calls something mid. In Neal's world, 98% of everything is mid. That commercial read was mid. Can we agree with that?
Yes.
I thought it was funny.
Ethan, can we agree with that one?
Don't call me Morpheus.
Take the blue pill or the red pill. Mr.
Do you not like The
Anderson.
Matrix, Neal? I feel like
I
you
got
wouldn't
it.
like The Matrix.
Never seen it.
You've never
No
seen it?
It's a
desire.
great movie.
No desire to see it.
Man.
No desire to see it.
The first one is amazing. The second two are
Pretty mid.
but they have good fight scenes.
Last one's good.
It's a
Last one's good.
66% mid rate.
Yeah, but the first one's like an all-timer.
Okay, all right. If you say so, though. No, but we are talking about the Lions-Packers game. In any world, in any world, this game was never not going to be the Sunday night game, and it's because of the reasons I talked about. And any time a network's going to get Aaron Rodgers in a win-and-you're-in situation, they're taking it. Lewis M. says Neal is mid for not seeing the Matrix. Also, by the way, real quick, Sam Flannel, Eli Manning getting a lot of run as being superior to Aaron Rodgers. I forget who said it in the chat thread. They said Eli Manning is who Aaron Rodgers wishes he was.
If you think Eli Manning is better than Aaron Rodgers, you literally have shit for brains. Eli Manning has made 4 Pro Bowls in his career. Aaron Rodgers has 4 MVPs. Stop it with that nonsense.
Looks like that influence on the last word, the final word.
Well, he's
Holy
above
cow.
the law now.
Just wow.
You know that it's different rules for different shows, right? And if you're on the final word, you get to do what you want. The rules don't apply to you.
I like it. Hey, okay.
I'd take
shit for brains.
I said it during the break. I'd take 2 Super Bowl MVPs over 4 regular season.
Well, it's a
MVPs.
question you had yesterday. 4 conference, whatever it is. Do you want the team rings? And the team. I like the stories. I like to have it, to share, the ability. Steve Eisman said this. I remember after we won, no matter where we end up in this life, we'll always have memories to share. And we just had our 25-year anniversary of the first one, and it was so true. Being right back there was like being back 25 years ago. That's why you can't replace that. Yeah,
they don't have.
Trophies are nice, the individual awards, but at the end of the day, doesn't it seem right that's more Aaron Rodgers apropos that he would want a whole trophy room full of individual trophies and team trophies? That's what I'm saying.
And Nicolas Cage memorabilia, yes.
So, can we agree Eli Manning is a better team guy than Aaron Rodgers?
Did you know that the reason that Aaron Rodgers lost that coin toss in the Arizona Cardinals game after he took it to overtime with his heroics is because he just doesn't want to win enough? Yes. God, he's such a bad teammate. He just doesn't want to win enough. Come on,
I just
people.
said Eli Manning was a better teammate.
Yeah. No,
I didn't say Aaron Rodgers didn't want to win, but obviously I just said, do you think that Aaron Rodgers' personal accomplishments are more important than his team accomplishments?
I think that team accomplishments are team accomplishments. They're not quarterback awards. Like Eli Manning has Justin Tuck, Michael Strahan, Jason Pierre-Paul,
and guys
like
part
that.
Of your
Matthias
team?
Kiwanuka.
Oh my gosh, did I not say part of the
David
team?
Tyree making the greatest catch in football history.
Is Aaron Rodgers more into individual awards or team awards?
Yeah.
Do you get?
I don't know that.
Do you get?
You guys act like you know that.
As you know what? As more of a team guy than Aaron Rodgers.
Also,
prove it to me.
Those Packers teams weren't bad, Sam. The Giants defense was good, but the Packers defenses were pretty.
I'm not saying he didn't do everything that he couldn't be, but don't say that.
Like when he had Charles Woodson.
I believe, Neal. Do you believe Aaron Rodgers' individual awards are more important than team awards?
To Aaron Rodgers?
To Aaron Rodgers.
Or to me?
To Aaron Rodgers.
It's weird with him because I think that those MVP awards give him license to do colon cleanses and tell the media he's been immunized against COVID and go to peyote trips. I think that those awards enabled him to become this goofball that he's become and not wash his hair. I do believe that because
was enabled.
Right.
He's enabled because of the trophies.
He's enabled because of the trophies.
Are more important to him than if he had the Super Bowls. You say, so if he had 4 Super Bowls instead, it would be a different thing, but he wouldn't. It'd be more of the Tom Brady.
And look, too, any way you want to slice this, Tom Brady always took below market value.
I was
ever.
just about to say that.
Every year of his career, you can't pay Tom Brady enough for what he generates. He didn't destroy his franchise over his salary. I know that.
I was just about to say, if Super Bowls are more important, he would have made sure Devontae Adams.
Aaron Rodgers destroyed that team's chances to win Super Bowls.
So exactly. Can you back me up with your draft capital and salary cap? Because if you care about your team winning a Super Bowl, you would have never lost Devontae Adams, or you would have figured out a way. Tom Brady, by the way, could be the greatest teammate. So if you're going to take $50 million, do you not does that not play into my argument to that I believe that it's more important personal success than team success?
You guys all took less.
Absolutely.
Everybody took less.
Absolutely. That was part of it. If you wanted to come here and play here, but it was always in structure. There was always
the hierarchy was
and it was there, and you know what? It was, and we were compensated. The grind line was compensated. When you got the grind line that makes $2 million a year, $1.5 million, $2 million a year as your fourth line or whatever like that. That's in that day, in the late '90s, 2000s. That was
good cash. That was good cash. Sure.
No, that's big. That's because the player today makes 3.5.
Yeah.
Right.
If I play today, I'm making between $3 and $4 million. So I just believe, because of the whole thing of not just the trophies, but everything you put into what it wants. At the end of the day, who's the one that's got his team hamstrung the most?
Yeah.
In the league.
And I have to read this one because I don't get this opportunity a lot. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Alicia. Tone, Sam. Tone. Yes.
Yes.
No, he said you're a shithead. Yeah. That's not tone. That's flat out.
Out there, yeah.
That's flat out final word.
ACAV says, you guys bring up the salary like the Packers didn't offer Adams. He wanted out. Why do you think he wanted out, though?
Yeah, I was going to say.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the bottom line is, heard 2 to 4 here. Most days.
Most days.
Anyway, the moral of the story is...
Subtle.
What?
That's tone.
We're never going to get anywhere, are we? We're never going to get through a show ever again, are we? Anytime I say anything, you're going to say, tone, Neal, tone.
I mean, that was... You know what you were doing with that one. So, Aaron Rodgers. Superhero hair.
Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. Cool hair, huh?
Yeah.
Doesn't believe in conditioner. No, but hey, what? His hair's greasy. WoodwardSports.com chat poll. Is Aaron Rodgers' hair greasy? Yes or no?
I think, isn't the question, though, like, how... I guess my question is wouldn't you think that if the Lions go in there and win, regardless if they make the playoffs or not, like this is the epitome. That's when the oven clock goes off, right? And obviously because the games are done, the 2-year games are done. But isn't that right now of everything we've gone through this season from the beginning with Hard Knocks, what it's come down to? Like, this is our Super Bowl, right? This is as close as this is as big of a game that this obviously regime has played. But you know what? This could be the start. And
I don't dispute that. Again, this will be for this rookie class, for the second-year class, and I think they're down to like 16 Quintricia holdovers. They continue to flush the system of those. There might be one less one in the offseason. We'll see. Was that tone? No, that's factual.
That was
factual. But anyway, though, it'll be the biggest game they ever played. Right? I mean,
yeah. This Brad Holmes, is this the biggest game in the Brad Holmes Dan Campbell regime?
This will be the biggest game Dan Campbell ever coached in. Right?
Absolutely.
Because of the direct outcomes, everything that's associated with it. WoodwardSports.com chat poll, it's up right now. Is Aaron Rodgers' hair greasy? I contend that it is. Greasy. Kiazi says, LMAO, they actually did a real poll about his hair. I want to know what the people think. Maybe it's my tone. Maybe I'm being obtuse. I don't know. I just want to know. Joey, 2 times, Aaron Rodgers has never finished a whole beer. That's true, too.
That is true.
He certainly hasn't chugged one.
David Bakhtiari's putting down 4 at a time. He can't even finish one.
Even get through one.
Yeah.
Like it was soft. Let me see. Bob Johnson says, Neal just upset because Pat McAfee is a bigger talk show host and is friends with Aaron Rodgers and Neal isn't. Why would I be upset about that?
What? Who said that?
No, I don't really care to be friends with Aaron Rodgers. Like, I got all the friends I need, man. Like, no. Sorry.
He's already got friends in low places. Yeah. You don't need any more.
I got enough friends with greasy hair.
That's fair.
Already. I'm friends with Spenny, for Christ's sake. Nah, Spenny's hair is luxurious.
I wash my hair.
Yeah, you do wash your hair. And it is. It's a big game, though. Absolutely, it's a big game. We're going to get into it, too, and treat it as such. I think... And you know how I am, right? Like, we come out here on Monday and Tuesday. I get the lay of the land as far as the schedule goes. I kind of get a feeling for which way things are going to go. The closer we get, i.e. what's today, Tuesday? The closer we get, D-Mac, the more I got a feeling about Baker Mayfield.
A good feeling?
Yeah. Like, they're playing good football. They're running the football. The Rams are running the football, man. Now, I know it was, speaking of greasy hair, I know it was against action figure hair and Russell Wilson. But at the same time, Baker Mayfield's playing all right, low-key.
And I think that, when we come back, the one thing I want to ask is can Matt Stafford have the last effect by helping Baker be prepared? Is there that effect, or are we reading too much into it because it's literally Detroit Rams? I wonder if Terry's going to wear his shirt in.
Absolutely. What'd the poll end up about greasy hair?
92% yes.
Okay, so I wasn't far off.
No, you're right.
Okay, that's good. We have to go to Sam Flannel when we come back. One of the bigger Michigan slappies in the media sent a tweet out, and when he talks about Michigan, I'll listen because he's keyed in. No, that's a fact. So we have to have the discussion. Yeah, we do. We have to have that discussion. So when we get back, we will. We got some nickel packages lined up for you as well. And also I get to tell you about Cintron, the official energy drink of the Red Wings, which we'll be talking about in the second hour of the show. They've combined all 3 of their flavors. Look at that. Smashing one right there. You can have the cranberry. You can have the classic, like your friend Darren McCarty right there, or the sugar-free, and you can get them all in Red Wings-themed packaging. Go to CintronWorld.com/Red Wings. Order yours today. Get Cintron if you're at the Red Wings game tomorrow night. I may be in the crowd. We'll see. We'll see how things work out. But you can get it at Little Caesars Arena, too. It's Cintron. You can get energized with Cintron, and let's go Red Wings.
Why wait?
I love Woodward Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
What's a winter wonderland if you can't shop, eat, and play? Lucky for you, you can do it all at the Downtown Detroit Markets, Cadillac Lodge, and the new winter version of the Monroe Street Midway, all located just across the street from Campus Martius Park. Find the fun at deckedoutdetroit.com.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. Baby, talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Neal Ruhl here for Custom Health Centers. Our very own Ryan Ermanni is in the Custom Health Centers approach to weight loss as we speak. Down over 15 pounds. He's shredded already. No, we're just kidding right there. But it has made a difference for him, and it can make a difference for you too. They've got over 20,000 success stories. They've helped professional athletes lose weight. Of course, former Pro Bowl MVP, Lions kicker Eddie Murray, and Pistons bad boy and NBA champion Rick Mahorn. You can be the next. Start losing weight today. Call Dr. Jason and Custom Health Centers, 844-789-THIN. Again, 844-789-8446. It's Custom Health Centers. Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter here with you. Happy to have you along for the ride. Tap into our woodwardsports.com chat thread as well. We got a bunch of that going on. Everybody seems to be on one today, and I'm here for it, man. I love it. And we were talking Lions-Packers, but this news kind of, I won't say it's news, but reports have come out, and look, this wasn't from Jim Bob's sports blog. This was from John U. Bacon, who is very keyed into the world of Michigan athletics. And when John U. Bacon says from very good sources, I will listen. He says the possibility of Harbaugh leaving for the NFL is real. Could even happen fast. Nothing final, but if he goes, it would not be because of money, name, image, and likeness, control, or anything regarding Michigan, but with this growing frustration with college football itself.
Bam.
And you know what, ma'am?
I believe that.
100% I believe that, too.
100%. That is the most truthful statement, I think. And you know what? Maybe allegedly, but John U. Bacon might have been sitting across from Jim Harbaugh. That's how dialed in John U. Bacon is in the Michigan program. But I could see that. When you say it that way, the direction that the playoffs are going, obviously right now with that disappointing defeat and where it's at, it would look like he's bailing out. But I think that maybe it's the fact more as he's looking back to the NFL because you're expanding to 12 teams. He doesn't want to be sort of a part of it. The Big Ten is a joke for the most part. You know, playing this soft schedule, he wants to be challenged more. So the fact that when you hear that, to me, it resonates that there's some honesty in there and some truth.
Yeah, and I know, right, like everyone's going to say, oh, there's the same story that we hear every single year. But you don't hear it from guys like John U. Bacon and some of the power hitters of college football media. There were a lot of big-time reporters that have been bringing this up. And, I mean, and it was like instantly.
But doesn't it make sense because of Jim Harbaugh being here or whatever? And I know that Denver had been brought up. I don't think absolutely not Denver, but Indianapolis. Isn't Indianapolis because he played there, because it's
in
close,
the Ring of Honor,
because it's Midwest, because of all that stuff? I don't know the relationship he has with Jim Irsay, but that almost seems like
a perfect fit.
Too good to be true.
And he's not friggin' Jeff Saturday, by the way, just overmatched Jeff Saturday. And guys, look, here's another reason why it makes sense. And I see here, like Kyle Ramos says, I don't see him leaving Michigan at all. Pistons fan 11 says, sounds like NFL teams are looking at him, though. And that's it. You know why? Because he's a good coach, everybody. which is that's why that's off-brand, right? I've always said that. The resume's the resume. Like, the dude's taken Michigan to the college football playoff and went to a Super Bowl and built a program at San Diego and at Stanford, etc. He's won at a pretty good clip everywhere he's ever been. That's facts.
Factual.
I mean, and the difference between when other coaches have NFL rumors and Jim Harbaugh having NFL rumors is A, he flirted with them last year, and B, he was a damn good NFL coach. He took the 49ers to the Super Bowl for about a 3-year period. The 49ers were arguably the most consistent winners in the NFL. They just never got it done on the big stage. And Jim Harbaugh, I think you can say that he's the greatest football coach of all time never to win a championship. And in college, in college football too. What was that?
I think that's fair. That's not outlandish.
No, not at all.
He's in. If you could bring somebody up, he's in the
ballpark.
conversation.
No doubt.
Here's the difference to me. Last year, it seemed like he was out peddling his wares that nobody wanted him. After this season and what he done, to your point about how he is a good football coach and what's going on in the NFL, and especially what's going on with the dysfunction in Indianapolis, it almost seems like the perfect storm. To me, right, with Jim Harbaugh, I think that the NFL's looking in to him instead of him looking out like last year, and that's what these rumors and everything.
And here's the thing too, like if he went to Minnesota and interviewed, he was interested. Is it fair to say he was interested in the job? Like if you go to on recruiting day,
he was interested last year. They're interested this year.
Well, it's just like if you go, you're interested. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not a ploy.
But it's also too. Last year felt like he was handing out his resume.
Sure.
This year they're calling.
They're coming to him. WoodwardSports.com chat there at Ethan Brown. Jim Irsay is such a clown though. Doesn't matter.
Jim Irsay is the man.
That's the point.
Doesn't matter.
That plays into it. I mean, you just saw what the owner of the Colts did in hiring a guy that's never coached before. Why wouldn't he what do you do after that? Right, you go back to somebody that you know.
Lucchini_AP. I haven't seen you in here in the chat thread before, Lucchini, but welcome. Good to have you here. Would Jim be a sellout if he left Michigan? No.
I mean,
ask the Michigan slap. Would he, Sam Flannel?
No, he wouldn't be a sellout, but I would be very disappointed if he left Michigan, because despite the beginning, which was kind of underwhelming, he did bring this program to where it won back-to-back Big Ten championships.
Yeah, they're Big Ten good now.
I know they are, but at least it gets you in the dance. I know that they came up way short this year against TCU, came up short last year, but if they can consistently get into the college football playoff, they're going to win at some point. And I want a coach that can at least get us there instead of someone unknown, someone who might be unproven. So to me,
are you telling me we wouldn't be slobbering if he left and took the Colts job and Mike Hart was introduced as the next Michigan football coach, a Michigan man
Spencer
like Mike Hart?
will quote me on this. That is my biggest fear, having Mike Hart be the head coach. To me, that's the same thing as promoting a guy like Juwan Howard, who has no coaching experience, is just a Michigan man.
Whoa!
And I don't want that. That to me is such a downgrade. I don't want any part of Mike Hart being the Michigan football coach. What has he really done? He's the running backs coach at Michigan. I think, and I'm a little biased because I don't like Mike Hart. I never liked him that much as a player. I thought he personified Michigan arrogance. They never won anything with him there. But to me, why would anybody want Mike Hart as their head coach right now? Let him climb the ranks of the assistant coaches. That's insane.
Sam got murdered on Instagram yesterday for saying the season was a failure. It was bad.
It was a very Big Ten good season. Yeah. The Michigan season discussion and the result of the Michigan season was a clear identifier for people. Like the people that have championship aspirations and the people that are just happy to be Big Ten good. And your fandom was exposed. It was.
But it was a failure when you're talking about a national level, and I will agree with that 100%, especially when you lose to a team you're favored against. But it doesn't mean that the Ohio State game in the Big Ten championship and the undefeated season doesn't matter. It just means that it ended in such a catastrophic disappointment, and they didn't take that step that they needed to take. They're only a top 10 program. They're only Big Ten good. They're not elite. And if they win that game, and especially if they win the national championship, you're talking about a Michigan program that's right up there with the big dogs, Jim Harbaugh being maybe the second best coach in college football after Nick Saban. But we can't have those discussions anymore.
No, WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Alicia says, holy cow, did Neal just say something nice about Jim Harbaugh, Michigan? I've been consistent about Jim Harbaugh.
Before,
yeah, I've been very consistent about Jim Harbaugh. Check the resume, just like check Michigan's resume.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Those are two different resumes.
Absolutely, and I just want to call out someone in the chat really quick. Brandon Katz was like, Marv Levy was a better NFL coach than Jim Harbaugh. I agree with that, and he also never won a championship. I said football coach. If you take 2 seconds to listen, I'm talking about overall as a football coach. Jim Harbaugh has basically taken the programs that he's been to the highest heights that they've been, except the 49ers, but never won it all.
I'm going to put DMAC on the spot here. Chuck Brewer says it's a highly disappointing season, but failure is a bit far. Lay it down, DMAC. How do you classify Michigan's football season?
You didn't progress because you didn't move forward to that next level. See, you can't, if you just understand what you're trying to say is you only want to get to this level. Like other people say, Ohio State will always be your national championship.
You didn't do anything you didn't do last year.
Other water, right, yeah. To get to that next level. Because if you want the heat, and I saw it in here, yes, one team. We said it all along. In college football, should be happy at the end of the year that's competing. Now, there can be progress, right? There is progress because you did something you haven't done 20 years and go into Ohio State and win. So you're going to use that as a check mark. But at the end of the day, the expectations, because I was told, right, that you should at least be playing next Monday for the national championship game. And what happened against TCU can't happen, and it did.
And for me, too, like when you... Let's pick this up when we come back. Let's pick it up when we come back because I think that there are some things to say. I think you guys will have some responses to what I'm about to say, even though it's not anything you haven't heard before.
Yeah.
But the timing is right to talk about it.
The timing is right, and I think everybody will have a response to what I'm about to say. And what I'm about to say is Woodward Sports loves lobster. And what better way to get your fix than Cousins Maine Lobster? With 2 trucks rolling around Detroit, you can be sure to find the best lobster rolls, lobster tots, lobster tacos, and Terry and my favorite, lobster grilled cheese to power through the day. Go to cousinsmainelobster.com to find their schedule, or you can scan that QR code right there and figure out where they are rolling around the city. Neal, are you doing
I'm doing it right now. Plymouth. Today.
They're in Plymouth right now.
Hey, so and they're on Ann Arbor Road doing it. So a lot of you are going to go there.
Everybody loves that. Make sure you go check out
Sam Flan will be there.
Maine Lobster today.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Kroger's, and if you want to know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
It's a new year, so let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions. From real experts, our professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. But I need you to call the number, 1-800.
Stay out.
They got 24/7 professional monitoring calls anytime, day or night. Know the Guardian team member will stay on the phone as long as you need it. Need you to call the number, 1-800.
Stay out.
Technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work and people who have been proven to care. They care so much they've been protecting the flannel for how many straight days?
189.
189 straight days of flannel protection. If you want that type of protection from Guardian Alarm, give them a call today. 1-800.
Stay out. Stay out of the end zone, Aaron
Rodgers.
Rodgers.
End zone, Geno Smith.
Hey. Guardian Alarm, your local security experts. Tell them. Big D Energy, we sent you.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl for the Monroe Street Midway Minute. Still going on, everybody. Yes, I know the holiday season has come and gone, but you still get the opportunity to eat, shop, and play in downtown Detroit, guys. You know what? Let's be real. Like, let's stop with the the corporate commercial speak and stuff like that. How long have we asked for this kind of stuff? For real, in downtown Detroit. How long have we asked for it? How long have we clamored for it?
Hundreds of years.
How long have we begged for it? You know what I'm saying? Like, go down and support it, man. It's Monroe Street Midway, the Downtown Winter Festival, going all winter long. Yes, DMAC, they can play puck putt. You can do your little hockey stuff. I'm trying to make a bigger point here, and here's DMAC, puck putt.
Oh, sorry. Go get your bourbon at the lodge. You might see T. Foss there.
And you can do that, too, at the lodge. That's right. No, guys, I mean, bottom line, it's like a real thing downtown. We've asked for these things forever. They're down there now. What's that?
It's a dope spot.
That's it, man. Like, it's fun. You can do stuff you like to do. You can do it. Even me, who hates winter at an Aaron Rodgers level. I'll slide through there. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, it's like real, guys. I'm just being real with you guys here. Yeah, there's like a commercial to talk about and all that kind of stuff. I've asked for this for a long time in my city. It's there. I'm going to support it. It's a Monroe Street Midway. Go to deckedoutdetroit.com for more information. WoodwardSports.com, pulling up on the second hour of the show. We got a couple nickel packages to do. Certainly some hockey as well with Darren McCarty. We will break it down for that. WoodwardSports.com chat there. We're talking Jim Harbaugh right now. John U. Bacon's out there talking about it. All the college football heavyweights. This is real, guys. Credible people were like the Denver Broncos basically called him on the sideline after the game was over against TCU. This is real. And I'm with you guys. If I'm a coach, I'm never going to Denver unless you're going to give me the 8-year. You're going to give me the Gruden contract. 10 years at 100, guaranteed. WoodwardSports.com chat thread here on Mark.
Yeah, he's looking at the Gruden contract, right?
Yes.
That's what I would be doing. He's got the leverage, right? You know what I'm saying? That's how I would be.
So even though he says it's not about money, the bag will be there.
Everything's about money. Everything.
I know that. You know that.
Yeah. Everything. But again, Spenny's got it on the screen right now. From very good, and this is John U. Bacon on Twitter. From very good sources, the possibility of Harbaugh leaving for the NFL is real. Could even happen fast. Nothing final, but if he goes, it would not be because of money, name, image, and likeness, control, or just about anything regarding U of M, which I do have a bit of a objection with that, which I'll lay out in a minute, but his growing frustration with college football himself. WoodwardSports.com chat thread here on Mark M. says, beat Michigan State undefeated till TCU, went to OSU and won, earned second berth backing up last year's season, played competitively versus a very good TCU team. Not as much progress as hope, but progress. Yes, and where did you get that you didn't go before?
Nowhere.
So then there's no progress. Is that fair?
Well, it's and I don't like the whole idea that they played a good TCU team close. Michigan was favored in that game. You have to win that game.
But flannel, when you recreate the game, though,
I understand that. But
who had a better receiver room?
TCU.
Who was better in the trenches?
Actually, in that game, and as much as it makes me want to vomit, TCU. They were. That was the most disappointing part, the way the Michigan's offensive line played and their defensive line played.
You see what I'm saying? Like, yeah. And here's the deal. Here's where I'm going to bring it all around for 1 second here. Is I think the Harbaugh thing and the frustration with college football, like that's an easy way to say it. And I've said this forever, and this is not hyperbole. You guys know that I think this too. This is as far as you can go with Michigan. And somebody brought it up here too. Nerf says Harbaugh needs to recruit higher than the 12 to 17 to be consistently elite and win big games.
You nailed it, Neal.
And people,
your rooms, your depth, your
limited.
Rooms, your talent level isn't good enough to compete.
Right, and people have talked about that too, where you need bigger time recruits And somebody else earlier said you need an OC that can run this offense at a maximum capacity. You can't without maximum players.
Donovan Edwards isn't a maximum player.
But that's at the running back position.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm not
you need receivers in college football.
I mean,
you have to have them. Who's got a better receiver room, Alabama or Michigan?
This year, it's actually pretty close, but usually Alabama.
USC or Michigan?
Well, USC.
TCU or Michigan?
Quentin Johnston.
Georgia.
That's the only.
Who are they? That's what it is,
and
guys.
if you want to get in those waters, you got to be up there with the class that competes with that. Now, what we saw this year was something new, right? The graduate transfers or the transfer portal. That might be a way, but that's not. It's proven, right, Neal? Where we thought, okay, this might be the way to do it, and this might help them get it, but it's not enough.
No, it's not enough. And here on Mark M, this doesn't. Did the bad boys break through ceilings and win a championship immediately? No, they had to break through barriers over a number of years. That's professional sport with one of the best point guards to ever play professional basketball on your team. You see what I'm saying? It's not equal. And for the whole Michigan thing, this is the way it is. This is as high as Michigan can go until you're prepared to go into those waters. And Sam, this has been my complaint about Michigan football forever. From an institutional perspective, they are not prepared to do what it takes to be in those waters.
But I guess the finish line is making the college football playoffs then. As long as that's
then admit you're cool with that.
That's what I'm saying. That's 2 years in a row. If you're happy with being Ohio State and making the playoffs, then you're satisfied. But that's not winning.
And Mike G says, Neal, to take the program where they need to go, where they can go Big Ten title win over Sparty and Ohio State. The Bulls are gravy after that. I'm okay with that, and I have a stake in it. Then okay, then you and I have a fundamental difference, Mike G.
And that's a tough one because both things can be true. I can be very, very happy with how the whole rest of the season went. I could be ecstatic with how the rest of the season went, but be severely disappointed with how it ended. You can't lose that game. And I know what Neal said. When you actually recreate the game, TCU was better than we thought. They were more physical than we thought. And Michigan, they made too many mistakes.
They had multiple better rooms than Michigan had.
And I didn't think that was the case.
Nor did I.
I didn't think it was the case, but it was proven out on the field. I mean, Michigan's defense, the one that was supposed to be great, only allowed 13 points a game. They gave up 37 offensive points to TCU. Michigan turned the football over, had 2 empty red zone possessions. But a lot of it, I will admit, wasn't all because Michigan just shot themselves in the foot. It's because TCU was better and Michigan wasn't prepared. They were faster. They were more physical than anybody thought. And Michigan has nobody but themselves to blame. But you still can't lose that game. Despite all of that, they had the ball with a chance to win, and they didn't do it.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Jam City says, Harbaugh has always wanted too late to stop power football and get the passing game going too late. This is Harbaugh mode. Harbaugh mode has held the team back too long to suit the power football game. And D-Mac, that's my point. It's changed. And if you want to be elite, you have to be capable of putting 50 points on the board at any given time.
But it comes down to you're not swimming in the same waters as the teams winning the championship.
You can't make me gourmet pasta if I give you egg noodles and ketchup. You can't do it. The best chef in the world can't do it.
But Michigan's not egg noodles and ketchup. They had they could have won this year.
Oh, sorry, they're Chef Boyardee and Meyer brand wheat pasta.
You're acting like they're Mississippi State or something like that. They could have won the Pop-Tarts? They could have won the national championship this year. This was their year to do it.
But they didn't.
I know they didn't do it, and that's why it's such a missed opportunity and a disappointment. But it's not because they weren't on the same levels as any of those teams. They were every bit as good as any team in the nation except maybe Georgia. But I think Georgia was still beatable. They just had a missed opportunity.
TCU beat them. I mean, they obviously weren't. And obviously, when we leave the North, but when we leave here and go play against these other teams that we see, what happens at the end of the day? We get trucked where we're supposed to not get trucked. You mentioned it. We're big, bad, mean, offensive line, defensive line, and then you get worked. And TCU did to you what they did to a ton of other teams putting up the points. So you can't swim in those waters, and you don't know until you compete. But what you're competing with isn't as good as what you think it is.
Are we prepared to accept that? Like as Michigan fans, are the Michigan fans prepared to accept that?
No,
that TCU had a better receiver room. They were better in the trenches, because that flies in the face of everything you're conditioned to think as a Michigan fan.
Well, that's the thing. They're not better in the trenches. They were better in the trenches that day, and that's what's so disappointing to me, because I still believe that offensive line was great. I still believe that defensive line was at least very, very deep and very, very good, but they just didn't play a good game. They weren't.
And their starting running back got hurt and was out of the game.
Their starting running back got hurt, and then DeMarcado rushed for what? How many yards, including that big 69-yard back-breaking run? It was just a terrible, terrible performance that's going to haunt Michigan for a very long time, and they might not only lose that game, but they might lose one of the best head coaches in school history.
Yeah, LFG says, Neal, we're now in the era of big offense in college football, and that's what it is, man. Yeah, and you don't have to play that way all the time, but you have to have that in your back pocket.
Yeah,
if the situation calls for it.
When you go play against these teams, you got to be able to do it. You can ground and pound all you want playing lesser teams in the Big Ten, but when you take the show on the road, on the big stage, you got to be able to air it out.
Nick Saban.
And that's what disappointed, because I thought it was building up this year, and then J.J. McCarthy was going to be his coming out party. And it wasn't, but hopefully he learns from it.
And I'm one of those, like, J.J. McCarthy will get better.
Yes. Yeah.
Like he will get better. And I thought it was a bit obtuse of everybody to just assume that he was going to walk in and there were going to be no hiccups ever.
No.
You know what I'm saying? There were going to be moments of struggle.
There were a ton of hiccups, but he did play well at Ohio State. He played a great game at Ohio State. He played well in the Big Ten championship.
And they were 1-1 in real games.
But you know what's funny? I know you guys are going to poo-poo this, but other than those 2 pick sixes, J.J. McCarthy did a lot to bring the team back.
Namely, having that fumble bounce out of bounds instead of bounce back into play.
Hey, but still, that they put up 45 points, but you can't spot the other team 14, and that's the moral of the story.
And that's where I would say, well, really, you put up 31 because you gave them 14.
And you know what? I can't even argue with that, because that's the 2 pick sixes were arguably the biggest backbreakers of the game, and you can't do that. But J.J. McCarthy did play well. Other than that, he made some of those throws that we were all waiting for him to do, like the one to Ronnie Bell, even the one to Roman Wilson, where his ass cheek was down at the inch yard line, and they couldn't punch it in afterwards.
Yeah, so I mean that's what it is, and we'll continue obviously to monitor the Harbaugh situation. The moral, the moral of the story we're talking about here is that's real, D-Mac. You feel it's real, don't you?
No, absolutely. You feel it's real, and I think the councilman Robert Colosia brought up a great question too. Is that what if Harbaugh would have won, beat TCU, and even won a national championship? Then wouldn't you think he'd be gone even more so?
Well, I don't know, but see, guys, like, this is what we talk about, and I know it's unknown to Michigan fans, or at least it's apparent that you're not comfortable with these stakes. This is how it works when everything's in the middle of the table, and there's only a winner. That there is no happy to be there. There's no college football playoff participant sweatshirts or any of that stuff. There's only one winner when these 4 teams get together. Those are the stakes. That's what you give up when you go to the college football playoff. Sorry, guys.
Could have been Michigan, but alas, it was not.
Well, hey, let me tell you, alas, let me tell you what's good in Detroit in the wintertime. The wintertime comfort foods from Big Boy. Try the classic meatloaf. Spenny's down.
Oh, give me the loaf.
Give him the loaf. The Cajun chicken Alfredo. What about breakfast, too? The stuffed potato pancakes. You see them right above my head right there. Those slap. The Lumberjack, the Santa Fe Garden, or the Blockbuster. Stop by your local Big Boy today.
We here at Woodward Sports would like to thank everybody who helped us stuff our studio. The 3rd annual Stuff a Studio was a major success, thanks in part to our partners at Guardian Alarm and Meyer Stores for making it all possible. And of course, we couldn't do it without our community leaders and viewers like you. Thank you for dropping off toys to our studio that were taken to the Mott Children's Hospital in Ann Arbor, so every sick child could have a happy holiday.
We are incredibly grateful for Woodward Sports, Guardian Alarm, and Meyer for making the holidays so special for our patients and families.
So what we do is try to bring some normalcy to their lives at this time. This is a labor of love. It brings so much joy, and not just for the families and for the children, but for our staff.
Thank you.
When it comes to making your haircut truly an experience, there's no better place than Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Come to any one of our 26 Metro Detroit locations for an award-winning haircut experience and qualify for a chance to win a down payment for your dream home up to $200,000. Our precision haircut and talented stylists will have you looking good, feeling good, and give you a chance to change your life forever. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
Chili Peppers Tanning, you'll find the cleanest salons in the D, spotless and sanitized rooms, and trained and certified tanning professionals. Join the Pepper Club, get the best deals. They'll beat the competitors' prices by at least $5. You can pick up the Australian Gold, Designer Skin, Cal Tan, and Spencer Raxter's favorite Swedish beauty lotions.
Oh, yeah.
ChiliPeppersTanning.com. Hottest bulbs, hottest deals, darkest tans. It's pretty simple, everybody. They are your vitamin D headquarters. You're never going to see the sun here again until April. Let that sink in. 27 locations. More on the way. It's Chili Peppers Tanning, y'all.
Chili Peppers Tan.
Yay, yay.
Yeah.
Big D Energy. Woodward Sports Network. Neal, Ruhl, Darren, McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. Clean this up real quick here before we get to the NFL Nickle packages. WoodwardSports.com. Chat thread. Tap in. Jake Wegener, didn't Tulane beat USC? Lincoln Riley's got his own questions to deal with that he gets asked every single year as well. Utah lose to Penn State. Yep, as soon as Cam Rising went out of the game, then Penn State pounced. You're right. People need to start acknowledging that the level play across conferences and team to team is a lot closer than people want to admit. Not at the highest level, it's not. How much more data you need. Also, too, Chuck Brewer. Everybody remember this summer? Michigan was supposed to take a step back this year. Chuck, I've been telling you guys this since June. They were going back to the college football playoff because the schedule is laughable. And guess what? The schedule next year is even easier.
Let's get back and win one next year.
Okay.
I still can't get over this year, though. It's going to take a long time.
All right. Hey, nickel package time. Let's do some pro football first.
All right, pro football, NFL nickel package first. Question, Rooney. After the Jets collapse, who will be their QB next season? Is it going to be Zach Wilson? Is it going to be Mike White? Or somebody else?
Who else can they get?
They can draft somebody.
They're not going to step in right then and go to work?
Yeah. Not on the roster.
Yeah.
I believe the quarterback will be a guy that is not on the roster.
You think so?
Yeah, that he's not on the roster. The Jets are sold on Mike White. They're going to give him more of a chance But I believe the Jets, and it might be a plug and play.
Like a Daniel Jones type in free agency?
I think you'd think that the Giants are moving off of Jones, or
I don't know. Yeah,
like a type. Yeah, like
buffer.
That type, like a buffer. They're looking for like their golf.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, like, it doesn't matter.
Well, actually, question number 2 is who I think might end up there.
All right.
Speaking of which,
second down.
Question number 2: who will Derek Carr play football for next season?
See, he'd be a perfect, like, a guy for the Jets, for Robert Saleh or something to go in. I got him maybe there or Washington, right? Washington, Ron Rivera might be a good fit, but that's a guy who, if I was going to name one, that might be either Jets or Washington or something like that, but he will be somewhere next year.
What about this one? Rustin Burke says Colts.
I can see the Colts.
With Jim Harbaugh?
Right, with Harbaugh, yeah. Could be Colts.
Quarterback whisperer, he gets the most out of Derek Carr, takes him to a level he's never been to in his career.
Which wouldn't you rather try to save him instead of Russell Wilson?
And he can hand the ball off left and right to Jonathan Taylor.
If I'm Jim Harbaugh, I want an offense that has Jonathan Taylor in it.
That's suited. He's suited for that style. There's no doubt. I'm just saying. Yeah, I mean, that I could ride with that. I could say
ride
Colts.
With Carr as quarterback for Indy. Yeah,
and you can cross the Raiders off the list for a while.
Yeah.
That's
tough.
Nice franchise.
Sudfeld.
Yeah, nice franchise you got there, Raiders. Third down.
All right, third down. And here it is. Yes or no? We just talked about it. We've been talking about it all day. Will Jim Harbaugh make a return to the NFL next year?
We will know by the middle of next week.
Wow.
Like when I think when Black Monday hits, it's either being worked on right now or it's not. You know, I think if it's going to happen, it's being worked on right now.
Yeah.
I do honestly believe that. If it happens, it's going to happen, and it's going to happen quickly. So at this time next week, maybe next Wednesday by the latest, we will know. Right here, right now, if you're going to say, is he going to do it? Yes.
Woo!
Yes. There's too many power players talking about it, and they're doing it quickly, D-Mac. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I think that. I do.
No, I do too, and I was I'm looking at the odds or whatever like this is to end up back in the NFL, and real quick might be plus 1,200. Might be going down quickly. Might be falling like that.
I know it was plus 2,200 like 48 hours ago or whatever, 72 hours ago.
I don't know. I see a plus 550, but I don't know if that's a specific job. But I expect it after the way it ended. And you know what? Going into the TCU game, I probably was as much the other way. But after the way things have played out, it might have been in the plan all along. Doesn't it seem more, we talk about it, that Indy team is sort of made for him with his style?
Mm-hmm.
I agree, man. The conditions are there, and it's the level of media people that are talking about it that makes me believe that it is a very legit possibility. Sam Flannel, your temperature right now.
I mean, I'm a little bit worried. You're right. John U. Bacon is one of the most connected Michigan people there is. And because Michigan has taken the step to at least perennial Big Ten champions and get into the college football playoff, I don't want Jim Harbaugh to go anywhere. So, of course, I'm a little bit worried. I'd like to think he wouldn't go anywhere. But if a team wants him, that's the thing. If a team wants him and he interviews well, he'll get an NFL job, and that would really be unfortunate.
This is a sidebar here, too. LFG says, Neal, you never circle back to the money-related point you were going to make about Harbaugh. Here's a little interesting nugget, and I'm curious to get Flannel's take on this. Can you be Ward Manuel and make him the highest-paid college football coach in college football?
I think so. Just because he's taken the program to heights that they haven't been since 1997, and I think they can only go higher. So I would do it. I mean, he took a pay cut before 2021, so maybe he wants to be rewarded by being a higher paid coach.
What about the smoke that comes with that, though?
I don't know if there'll be any smoke. Jim Harbaugh is a Michigan legend.
Okay.
Greatest
No.
I'm
talking about like nationally. Can you imagine if he makes him the highest paid college coach, more than Nick Saban? Because if he goes to the league, he's going to be in double-digit millions per year.
I mean, if you have to do that to keep Jim Harbaugh, I would. It's Ward Manuel. It's Michigan. They've got the money. The boosters wouldn't have a problem with it.
Really? Then why don't they go get players?
They do have players.
No. Why don't they go get those players?
What are you talking about? They're a talented team. They've got lots of...
Yeah, but not talented enough, Sam.
Who's an NFL receiver on that team?
Nobody.
Maybe Ronnie Bell.
You said maybe. Who's an NFL receiver on TCU? Who's an NFL receiver on USC?
Or Quentin Johnson and Jordan Addison, Mario Williams. I know, the list goes on.
Who's an NFL receiver on Michigan State?
Keon Coleman.
You see what I'm...
You were 5-7, bro.
I know. I said throw.
I knew it was always going to come back to that.
Yeah.
I know. All right, fourth down.
All right, fourth down. How much of the Eagles' season relies on Jalen Hurts? We saw it now that he's been out 2 games. They've lost with Joey 2 times his boy Gardner Minshew in there.
Yeah.
Is Hurts that important to their offense?
Yes. It's 100% on Jalen Hurts, which I know is laughable to say,
80%?
right? I was told he's limited. I was told the playbook's limited. Remember all those things I was told, D-Mac?
Yeah, but they still can't stop him. Play Tecmo Bowl.
Really
so whatever
weird.
it is, he is that legit. I think when we're talking about most valuable player to his team, we saw in the last weekend or whatever else what he means to this Philly team. If he's not the most valuable quarterback to his team moving forward.
Real cream of wheat in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Thank you, because this is exactly where I was going. Are we done with Gardner Minshew yet? How much more do we got to hear about this guy? I know he wears jorts, and I know he has a mullet.
How come all we ever get obsessed about is mid?
I don't know. I'll never understand that, dude.
Great mustache, though.
When are we done? Are we done now with Gardner Minshew? Is that safe to say?
Yeah, because Spenny just ordered his jorts off online, his website, so now he's good.
Are we done, Spenny?
Yeah.
Okay.
Joey 2 times isn't, but I'm done.
You're done, and you were a Minshew guy.
I liked Minshew. Yeah.
We're done with it.
Yeah.
Finished with Gardner Minshew. Okay. Guess what, guys? He's Mike White.
Yeah, he is.
Mike White is Gardner Minshew.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry if that gets people upset and that hurts your feelings. That is what it is.
And none of them will ever be Sean Hill. 5th question, 5th down. Better season so far this year, Trevor Lawrence or Justin Herbert?
You know what's funny is, if Herbert gets bounced from the playoffs and Trevor Lawrence gets Jacksonville in, then I'm gonna lean Trevor Lawrence. 1 year removed from that whole Urban Meyer debacle, and all of a sudden he gets a franchise in the playoffs.
Trevor Lawrence looks so damn good. Like, it's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they're at see, it's a tough question because they're at different exits of the highway.
Absolutely,
D-Mac.
I would say to this point in the season, they're both have done what they needed to do for their team. And obviously, I think there's more pressure on Justin Herbert because of the team that he has and because it's getting the LA Chargers over the hump, to your point. And what Trevor Lawrence has done, what Doug Peterson's done with them, the quick evolution, you know what I mean, to a season to prove that why he was this god coming out of college that we expected. This is what the Trevor Lawrence we're starting to expect to see. And I only think he's going to get better because what I see is a game slowing down for him. So I think that, Neal, that this question, Spenny, is to see what happens at the end of the season because they're neck and neck, but they're different guys. And if I had both of them, if I'm a Chargers fan or a Jacksonville fan, I'm happy with my quarterbacks.
Yeah, and I think that's fair. But here's the other thing, D-Mac. Trevor Lawrence has seen some shit in his career. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's dealt with. It's impressive how, as you talked about, his continued development and stuff. Like, I give him a lot of credit to deal with that disaster.
For being sort of the golden child, the next greatest thing, it hasn't been easy because what do we see a lot of times, especially first overall guys who go into the wrong team and stuff like this? You never hear from them again. You know what I'm saying? So he's found a way. He's persevered and fought through it, and it hasn't been easy. So hats off to him.
Yeah, I do. I give him a lot. I give him a lot of credit. I do for dealing with what he's dealt with, and they got a shot. And you can say what you want about Tennessee, and their quarterback got hurt. That's the nature of this league. That happens to everybody. Makes me hungry. I want a ham and Swiss sandwich.
A ham and Swiss sandwich does sound great, but we can't talk about that right now. We got to talk about Swiss Insurance. Be sure to check with Swiss Insurance this week for your commercial insurance review. Many businesses choose a 1-in-1 effective date. Swiss can help make sure you have the proper coverage. Swiss Insurance, give us a shot and you won't be disappointed. Or you can email mark@swissins.com. Again, that is mark@swissins.com.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Show is flying by today here on a Tuesday. Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter, Terry Foster will be back rabble-rousing tomorrow here on a post-holiday day. And happy to have you all with us. Tap into that woodwardsports.com chat thread. Jump on in here. Get your thoughts out there. And again, happy to have you all with us, man. Thank you, guys. The viewership's exploding. The followship's exploding. Everything we're doing is exploding. It's all because of you guys, man. So we were doing this before, never to this audience. And you guys are telling your friends about it and everything like that. So, D-Mac.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, man. Well, I go to LCA now. Like, you get stopped, like, multiple times.
As you should, with those subtle tones, and people want to hear that and all that stuff. So no,
they're like, hey, I heard your tone. I knew right away who it was.
Absolutely. So no, it is, and I think you've mentioned that all along. Whether it's whether you're at Oakland or doing other things and traveling around, people that they got it, and we appreciate that, and it goes to all the hard work, everybody behind the scenes. It goes to show you that just put your head down and doing the work, and it's something that I'm very proud of, to be a part of this for a couple of years now, and to be able to do this with you for over a year, and Terry, and watching these kids grow up, and everything that goes on around here.
And they get called up to the final word and everything.
Listen, that's what it is.
You get a singular tear that runs
and then
down.
Look at the attitude. Legend Killer comes back, telling people that shitheads. It's awesome.
Well, you can't tell them nothing anymore.
You can't tell them nothing anymore.
That train has left the station. All right, it is college football nickel package time.
All right, best time of the day. So true or false, both Quentin Johnston and Marvin Harrison Jr. will be top 10 picks in their respective drafts.
It's going to come down to Quentin Johnston on that, and I don't think, just because of the mass mania for the quarterback. And look at what we're talking about here, like Vegas and the Jets, and nobody knows what they're going to be doing at quarterback next year. I think you're going to see someone really reach for an SEC quarterback out of the state of Kentucky. Overreach for it. Oh boy. Overreach for it.
Right.
And you know what? Hey, if we're at 6th or 7th and our two guys are gone, we got what you need. Holla.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, I think those will be the two top guys to go, depending if you need a more like the possession guy or the speed size guy. But the way that it's going to play out, I would think that it's going to be the defensive guys and Will Anderson and Jalen Carter, and then it's a quarterback surge.
Yeah.
So we could be sitting in a good position to move around and get another guy.
I know. In my
heart of hearts, I think we're going to pick up a couple
100%. I think he is going to load this thing up, and my britches may get altered on draft night.
Dude, I think that, and also,
I may knock
and
the
also
table
too,
over.
I think that this year off season will be a little bit of a splash until next year, but it's just more solidifying, more of tightening it up. And how can you not be excited about young guys that he brings in?
Yeah. Oh my. If they're up to pick at 5 or 6, and he walks up there and says, "There's been a trade." Ooh, man, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about that right now.
Oh, I can see it.
And like Will Levis is still on the board.
Oh,
and there's been a trade with the Raiders or the Jets.
Oh my God, they have to be stuck with that.
Headed to New York. Might as well.
That's all you'll hear. All right, second down.
Well, speaking of quarterbacks coming out, so C.J. Stroud just had his best game as an Ohio State Buckeye against Georgia in the college football playoff. Did he play his way into being the #1 overall pick in the 2023 draft?
No, because I think Bryce Young did that too.
He did. He had a great game.
You know, I wondered about the Bryce Young thing, playing in the bowl game. Like, why? There's no way I would have played in that game if I was Bryce Young. Like, for what?
He was great.
And he was great, as you said. That Kansas State team, they beat TCU, by the way. Who beat you guys?
They're tough, man. They
are. I don't know what it is about Kansas State.
That's like one of the teams I think that put on my radar this year. Of like watching, there's something about them. Just they play so hard.
Yeah.
And they don't quit, man.
And oh, by the way, like they lost to Tulane, and then Tulane beat USC. Tulane was 2-11 last year, and went 11-2 this year. Like, props to them, man, and everything that they set up. But the answer to the question, no, because Bryce Young solidified it.
Why the hell did he even play?
I think we might have moved him up to #2 though. Might have moved him up to #2, and I've been one that I said I like C.J. Stroud. There's something.
Well, you know what he did? He showed something that
quarterback.
people were questioning. He took off and ran with it.
100%. He definitely upped his stock value.
Yeah, so
but I don't think he overtakes Bryce Young as number one. I think people are solidified, and especially when you go out and see them. Because it tells you, too, something about these guys where they could opt out, but they went out and played, risking the health.
Yeah. Wouldn't have seen me out there if I was Bryce Young.
Yeah,
All right.
that was a paradigm shift for C.J. Stroud. He did something in the big
That's
game.
a John Moxley finish, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was phenomenal, but so was Bryce Young, as you said. Okay, third down. So TCU did a couple of things against Michigan that were mind-boggling. What was the more impressive defensive stat? The fact that they sacked Michigan 4 times and had 13 tackles for loss, or the fact that they had 2 pick sixes? Which was more impactful?
You want to run this one first,
I'm going to
T-Mac?
say, with the offensive line that I was supposed to have being as dominant as it was, right? I mean, yeah, 2 pick sixes is unlikely and unfortunate, but 4 sacks and 13 tackles for loss when that had to be established the running game that we thought we would, especially after the first play. To me, that blew me away more.
No, and yes, you can certainly go with that. There was one for me in the football game. And I'm pulling it up right now because I want to make sure that I get this exactly 100% right, because it was so mind-boggling when you recreated everything. Michigan on 3rd and 4th down,
3 for 15.
was 3 for 15.
Can't win like that.
And that's not, guys, like that's not Michigan had a bad day. You know what I'm saying? Like that's repeated. 3 for 15. So I'm going to go over one. The one that really blew my mind, Sam Flannel, was that 3 for 15 on 3rd and 4th. You can't fake that. You don't get lucky and hold someone to 3 for 15 from 3rd and 4th down.
We all underestimated TCU, and with all that being combined, the 3 for 15, the 2 pick sixes, the fact that TCU had 4 sacks and 13 tackles for loss, when all that happens to you, you're never going to win a football game.
And when we recreate this again, that's why I still feel like there's this feeling that Michigan fans have walked away with going, man, they were really lucky that day. When you put all these numbers together, man, there ain't no luck involved with any of that. And I say ain't for a fact.
No, they weren't lucky that day, but if Michigan could have just did one of those things better, they would have won, but they didn't. TCU took
21 points in the first. What happened to that proverbial second half adjustment all year long?
It looked like it was coming. It was 21-16. I'm like, let's go. It did, but it didn't. You know what?
It's amazing.
You are what your game says you are. Okay, so 4th down.
They aren't who we thought they were.
They are. And this is a question that I do not enjoy asking, but I have to. Who was more impressive in the college football playoff semifinals, Max Duggan or Stetson Bennett?
Max Duggan made some gnarly throws under pressure.
He was, and like his interception that Sam Flannel dies on the hill about that hit his receiver in the effing chest.
He had 2.
Yeah, they were both off the receiver's hands though.
Yeah, but still, it was so on. It was all hanging in the balance again. A dynasty was hanging in the balance. A national championship was hanging in the balance.
When he's had to do it in the 2 biggest stages.
Time. He does it, dude. And I know you hate him, Sam Flannel, and you think he's mid, but when he's anti what the Michigan fans are about. When the stakes are the highest and your life is on the line, he delivers every single time. You can hate it all you want.
They hate us because they ain't us.
Yeah, every time Stetson Bennett delivers.
Now we know why he was in New York.
And next week before the college football playoff, I'm going to have to hear another Tom Rinaldi say where Stetson Bennett's mom's going to be like, he told me he was going to be Georgia's starting quarterback when he was 5. Yeah, I said I was going to be an astronaut. That's nothing.
Hey, well, Sam Flannel.
Stop that. So done with Stetson Bennett.
Hey,
but he did it, Sam Flannel.
But
you're not an astronaut.
He wasn't prophetic. He was 5. I said I was going to be Michigan's running back when I was 5. An astronaut. I know.
SpaceX, Sam. You still got it.
Quarterback of Georgia.
Sam Flannel or Sam McGuffey?
Yeah.
248.
Sam McGuffey.
You got the right stuff, buddy.
Yeah.
Sam McGuffey could backflip over anybody at Brady.
He's a bobsledder now, too.
That is true.
That is it.
Of course he is. And this is what I'm talking about. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Mike G. Stetson will be great playing for the Argonauts. Well, he'll be great playing for a second natty in a row, too. And guess what? Maybe he'll hold off J.J. McCarthy to get that Argonaut starting job. We'll see.
Oh, J.J. is going to be first round. Come on now. He's going to be first round. So much more talented. But speaking of things that I hate to ask, 5th down. Did Michigan just suffer the most damaging loss by a program in college football playoff history?
Not to you guys, certainly. I would say that this is the greatest loss since the Lions lost to the Chiefs.
Oh my Jesus Christ.
This loss was on par with them losing to the Bills on Thanksgiving Day. I've never been more encouraged after a loss, quite frankly. No, I think we'll both agree. It's not. What? It's fine. There was progress. Not the progress we wanted, but there was progress in that loss. That's what I was told.
Yeah, I guess they
I had to work in all the
throw
bits.
it more than 15 yards now, so that's progress.
I had to work in all the bits. No, it's not the most damaging.
Really?
No, it's not. This is what you are. I don't know how much more data we need.
But we could have taken that step.
No, you can't, because you couldn't beat TCU.
If they would have won. But they didn't win. I know they didn't win.
And if they would have won last year in the playoff and beat Georgia, they could have played for a national
my
title.
aunt had nuts, should be my uncle.
Yeah.
You know, if they could have won a Rose Bowl within the last 15 or 20. Like, all of it's if. It's on brand. So, no, it's not damaging because all of you are already explaining it away. So how is it damaging? Has it riled up the fan base? No. The fan base doesn't care.
No, they were just so happy that Ohio State lost.
Yeah. Like, could it have been? Yes, until Ohio State lost.
Yeah,
then it was okay.
It would have been, right? That different question if Ohio State's playing in the national championship.
Yeah.
And that's reality.
What's your take on that question, Sam Flannel?
I would say yes, just because of where Michigan could have gone if they would have won the game. The fact that they were favored. That's why I say yes. Now I have to hear the questions of the same old things, and rightfully so, about how Michigan, they can own the Big Ten, but they always choke away big bowl games. Because historically, besides for 1997, that's what they've done. And they had a chance to change that paradigm, and they didn't do it.
And it's good to see, too, the Michigan fans have even given a candle in the dark to the Ohio State fans. Mark Walston says, if Marvin Harrison didn't get his bell rung, it would have been a different story.
His bell.
Maybe.
How is that not targeting?
So Michigan fans are even giving the ifs to the Ohio State fans to use.
Ohio State should have won that game.
If my mother had wheels, she would be a bike.
Well, hey, if Stetson Bennett wasn't playing in the game, they would have. And I know that hurts to hear, but it's true.
Scored too
Because
quickly.
what does he do, Neal?
He wins.
Wins, no matter what.
He willed that Ohio State kicker to miss that field goal with his powers.
And you win if you work out at Planet Fitness, home of the judgment-free zone. Membership starts at just $10 a month. Join today in club. You'll pass a couple on the way home. Pull in the parking lot there. Or go online to planetfitness.com. And don't forget Woodward Sports broadcasting live for Planet Fitness on Eureka Road in Southgate all day this Friday, January 6th. Is that a holiday? We'll have to consult the calendar.
No,
meet
we're
Darren.
at Planet Fitness.
All right, meet Darren McCarty, Braylon Edwards, Ryan Ermanni, and the rest of the team. Chance to win tickets to see Joel Embiid, James Harden, and the 76ers take on the Pistons on January 8th. Free pizza for everybody. Sounds like a win-win scenario. It's Planet Fitness, Darren McCarty.
Where your fitness is essential.
We here at Woodward Sports would like to thank everybody who helped us stuff our studio. The third annual Stuff a Studio was a major success, thanks in part to our partners at Guardian Alarm and Myers Stores for making it all possible. And of course, we couldn't do it without our community leaders and viewers like you. Thank you for dropping off toys to our studio that were taken to the Mott Children's Hospital in Ann Arbor so every sick child could have a happy holiday.
We are incredibly grateful for Woodward Sports, Guardian Alarm, and Meyer for making the holidays so special for our patients and families.
So what we do is try to bring some normalcy to their lives at this time. This is a labor of love. It brings so much joy, and not just for the families and for the children, but for our staff.
Thank you.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
Coming on the stretch here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. Do have to touch on the Detroit Red Wings as well. As they sit right now, they are 5 points back of a wild card spot. The Penguins, though, have played 37 games. The Red Wings have only played 35. They are also 5 points behind the New York Islanders. The Islanders have played 3 more games than the Detroit Red Wings. So, again, given the teams you're chasing...
It's exciting, though.
It's
exciting in the new year.
It's an option.
Right, but it's exciting in the as we're entering the new year. And why is this a big week? Because you're going to get some of this firepower back, right? Whether it's looking like the Fabry, Bertuzzi's, Veranas are getting ready to come back. Now, again, here's a whole different element of the hashtag Wiser plan, guys.
1919.
Because what are they going to do? Right? What are they going to do? Because now they have to make some roster moves. Now, this is where, and what I love is Coach Derek Lalonde comes out and says, I love what these young guys are doing. I love the progress of the Bergerons and the Soderblooms and stuff like this. Because what are you creating there? You're creating competition. And these are tough decisions. But, hence, whatever happens... Right, as far as if Fabry plays, Bertuzzi comes back, Verana's in the lineup, if guys are sent down, or if there's a trade made, this is what NHL teams do. They make a competitive locker room, and guys in and out of the lineup. What have you done for me lately? So, it's a luxury to have. The luxury is that you have Steve Yzerman, hashtag Wiser Plan 1919.
No, you got to say it right, D-Mac.
1919.
All right, thank you.
Hashtag Wiser Plan 1919.
Just give the people what they want.
But so when you're looking at this, right, you look down the roster and you see, because you see the developments. This is where can we put into guys that you don't have to worry about that maybe before this happened you would, in the Joe Velenos and the Michael Rasmussens because of the development, and you hear that what's going on. So the Adam Ernies, the Elmer Soderblooms, the Jonathan Bergerons, and the Oscar Sundqvist, those 4 guys are the ones that you're sort of looking at where roster things will be done, right? Some guys have to clear waivers, and Sundqvist and Ernie, so does that bring up a trade? I don't know, but I trust the hashtag Wiser Plan 1919.
I feel like Johnny Burgers has to stay with the team.
But Berger's proven he's an NHL
somebody's
guy.
Got to go.
Yeah.
He's been a bright spot. But here's the one thing, and this is where you see and Coach Lalonde, the fact that he comes out and he says that. So what do I expect? I expect the guys like the Bergerons to stay up here. Maybe Elmer goes down because he was hurt, and you can get him more ice time and stuff like this. It's an exciting time because you only do this when you have good players. So the fact that you're bringing some goals back in the lineup, which should help. Again, if you told me at the beginning of the year we're 5 points out of the wild card with 2 games in hand on Pittsburgh, and we're 5 points out of last
and we had
place,
all the missed man games we've had.
Right, with all the missed man games, with the different losing streaks throughout the year, you got to take it with this team is, because remember, guys, it's all about the end of the year, the last week of the season. Oh, we got to beat this team and this team, win 2 games to get in the playoffs. That's sort of what the pace is right now.
Yeah, as long as we're not counting on Mike White to beat the Penguins, then we'll be all right.
Mike White is a football player, so that's good.
Do you think the fanfare is there enough for me to make a Johnny Burgers T-shirt and put it in the Woodward Sports merch?
No, I still think it's too low key.
Yeah,
you got to give him an overtime winner or something.
And here the guy I didn't bring up there, and obviously is a guy who's been really good for your team is Pius Suter.
Yeah,
because that's a guy that could end up getting moved. Because kids, here's not having the luxury, but as you get better, you're gonna lose some good players. That's where you try to, make a trade or do something like that. That's where you trust the guy in charge. So, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Another quick thing, and I'm going to talk about it tomorrow. We'll bring it up during 5 for Fighting. How about the move that's been made, with Jake Wallman with Mo Sider because just the little bit more
things have changed.
Puck movability. So that's in the development too. So I want to let people know, turn in for Fight for Fighting tomorrow. We're going to touch on that specifically, that defensive pairing and maybe the coming out party of a guy like Jake Wallman. But it just goes to show you how skating in this league is so important.
You put him with Sider. Sider brings the boom. He brings the speed and a little bit of offense. I think it's working very well.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Tony D. Neal, can we talk more Aaron Rodgers smack? We need to build more negative energy. Tony, we got all week, brother.
Yeah, we do have all week.
We got all week. Don't worry.
You know what? Hey, let me tell you about Alta, and then you can get your best Aaron Rodgers dig in for the end of the show.
I get a hell of a dig.
Wouldn't it? Because at Alta, uptime, it matters. Alta Equipment has everything you need to get the job done right. Have a Bob project coming up. Alta Rent, they've got you covered. Give them a call today. 844, go to Alta. That's 844, go to Alta.
As chilly weather approaches, Big Boy's got the perfect comfort meals for you. Try our hearty classic meatloaf or our creamy Cajun chicken Alfredo. These will be sure to leave you craving for more. How about breakfast? Our stuffed potato pancakes are back with our lumberjack, blockbuster, and Santa Fe Garden. These potato pancakes will definitely fill you up. Whether it's for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, come stock up on the perfect comfort meal today. We'll see you soon at Big Boy.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
I'm Dr. Jason Olafson, DC, the founder of the Custom Health Centers, and we've helped thousands of people learn how easy it is to lose weight and keep it off with our customized weight loss and body contouring programs.
With Custom Health, you don't feel hungry, you eat well. My name is Simeon Timbuk, and I've lost 71 pounds on the program.
Call us at 844-789-THIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
The Foaling Warehouse in Hamtramck is the home of the original football bowling pin game called Foaling. Multiple different ways you can play. They've got $12 open unlimited play and private lane reservation for $120. If you get thirsty, they got a $2 mystery beer vending machine and multiple fully loaded bars for you to choose from. So make sure you go check them out in Hamtramck or visit them online at foalingwarehouse.com.
Final segment of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal, Ruhl, Darren, McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Rackstar here in the building. The woodwardsports.com chat thread, jump in. Grom at 0237. Pitchers and catchers report in 44 days, D-Mac.
That's awesome.
That's crazy.
Is it? Is it awesome?
Sure, it's awesome if you're the Mets.
I wonder if Erod will be there.
Yeah. Hey, I wonder if, can I get a gig down? I just want to, pitchers and catchers would be fun.
Yeah.
It's going to
Can I go on holiday to Lakeland?
Extended holiday.
Hey, did I ever tell you the story about, so after we win, we were out in Tiger Stadium, and Ozzy's catching Todd Jones in the bullpen, and he's throwing him in there, he's throwing 90 and whatever, and Ozzy's like this. Then he starts throwing the split finger or the curveball. Ozzy said he's never been so scared in his life.
He packed the shit up and left.
That just comes in differently. I saw that, and then I was standing behind. JV was pitching to Jimmy Howard, catching one day in the bullpen, and he was snapping it in there. How he used to be a catcher.
Breaking off some
cool.
of those 12-6s.
But even the goaltenders who got pucks flying at them 100 miles an hour standing behind the baseball
they
coming.
It's
a different beast.
They ain't moving like that. And people asking and guys, I don't want to do a 44 days out from pitchers and catchers report. I'm going to gloss over the Torque and Green WoodwardSports.com chat and the pitching. The pitching's there. No, it's not.
Wild card team. They're coming back.
Are we gonna fall for that one again, guys?
All I know is I'm trying to be equally as hammered on opening day as I was this year.
And work backwards from there.
Hey, Neal, can I hold out until I see who the cleanup hitter is?
Let's wait for the lineup and see who's gonna be there.
Who's even playing third base? They don't have a third baseman.
I want to see where Jamer Candelario's hitting in the opening day lineup on his new team.
9.
Minor.
Where is he?
Yeah, 19.
Washington?
With the Washington, right? He'll be in there for Washington. He'll be in there somewhere.
He'll be in the 8th.
He'll be hitting 8th in the National League.
He'll be in the 8 hole.
And I'll say, you remember 12 months ago when he was a cleanup hitter for a playoff team?
Huron Mark M says Tigers 92 wins, and I was saying it says this year, but I think he had a spell check last year and this year combined.
Yeah.
You're close, but it's 2 years.
This is the Austin Meadows Revenge Tour. I'm sure Ryan Lentz is going to propagate that.
No, that's right. We have a lot of revenge tours this year for the team,
Austin
right?
Meadows Revenge Tour, Matt Boyd Revenge Tour.
Jonathan Scope
Revenge Tour. Yeah.
Lot of revenge tours.
Spencer Torkelson taking that second-year leap.
Jake Rogers. Jake Rogers.
Oh, Jake Rogers.
No, he's still here. That's the problem.
His revenge on the rest of the league.
No, he's still here.
Hey, Scope comes into Lady Jane's, man. Give him some love.
Oh, yeah.
All right, no, that's cool.
He came into Lady Jane's during the heavyweights nuptial episodes, and I forget who it was. It was Owen or Mike. They were like, go ask him something. I was like, you want me to ask him why he is the worst OPS in the MLB? Like, what am I supposed to ask?
I was told he's a 20 home run guy.
He had a bad year last year. I like Scope. He's a great fielder. Defensive plus player, Neal. I know you love that.
I know. It's guys, look, here we go. It's just been made apparent what the ownership of this team is going to do. They wanted to write one big check to a GM and a scouting director rather than many big checks to players. That's what they chose.
Holiday.
You're down with that.
And to be fair,
You're down with that.
And I'll be fair. I said you got to philosophically change what you do in terms of player development, and they did. But it's going to be a dry run here for about 5 years, guys.
Yeah, but that's okay.
Is.
Like, I think that when we saw him making these fundamental stoic changes to the organizations that are going to change it, is spend the money on what other teams do. So as a Tiger fan, lifelong Tiger fan, first love Tiger fan, I'm willing to wait.
D-Mac, what's your Tigers clock at?
162 times 5.
Yeah. I can't. It'd be 810 right now.
Hold on. Let me do the math real quick. We got 5 years at 162 games, 810 games. You're right, D-Mac.
Look at that mental math.
That was mental math. Rack says,
I'm a sick savage when it comes to numbers in my head.
Big old clock.
What do you think I'm 66% in the Feldman Cup for? Chicken dinner. Somebody doesn't have to play the last week.
Hey, I wish you'd have been playing for the Tigers last year. They would have got in the playoffs over the last 3 months of the season. Just played 66% baseball.
Oh, yeah. Remember that conversation? Nobody plays 66% baseball.
Then it turned to 75% by July.
Oh, we only got to play 82% now.
I hope Terry finds that Michigan program.
Please don't.
Please don't.
We got to remind him to bring that.
This is a good one. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Rack says, being called a great fielder is like saying she has a good personality.
That is so true.
Sorry.
What if she does?
So true.
But what if she does?
He's got a great glove.
But he also
has
an
like
OPS
great
of
glove, no arm?
Yeah. William Turnbull, Tigers are stripping it down to the studs this year. William, what's worse than that? They're not.
There's no studs to strip it
because
down
you're
to.
stuck with Baez and Rodriguez. You're stuck with them.
Aren't we just coming out of the swamp?
Yeah.
I mean, you're trying to get the foundation to the ground solidified to pavement. You're not even building yet.
No.
Riley Green MVP.
You got a couple pieces.
Yeah.
Right? You hope in Torkelson and Green, but that's it. So this is like, to me, it's swampland.
Riley Green's hitting 320.
You were sold a bridge, what do they say? I got bridges in Florida to sell you, or swampland in Florida to sell you. That's what we were sold last year.
Property in Florida.
How do I know? I should have known opening day when my colleague told me that Jamer Candelaria is your cleanup hitter. That should have been swampland.
I don't even remember opening day last year, but I know I had a good time.
But at least we're building out.
I wish I didn't remember that season, but I do.
I do. Remember when opening day was the peak of the Tiger season?
Oh, hey, what about this is a good one too. Isn't great personality? He's a great clubhouse guy.
Yeah.
Great locker room presence.
Yeah, great locker room presence. I know he hits 206.
There's something to that.
Yeah.
There's something to that.
Especially when you hit 206, right, D-Mac?
Oh.
Hey, yeah.
Let's send him an appreciation tweet. Thanks for hitting 206 for us. Oh!
See you later.
Why are we doing this right now?
I don't know, but I love it.
Yeah, we were supposed to dag on Aaron Rodgers.
No, we got the rest of the week.
Yeah, we got a whole week.
Okay. We don't
worry.
Oh.
We will do one segment a show.
Yes.
All right.
You want to write that into the right? Well, let's write that into the script.
One segment is show about Dog and Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers, negative D energy.
Yes.
Yes.
And I'll just sit here and cap on Aaron Rodgers for 15 minutes.
I'll think of good ones.
Is that fair?
Yeah, I'm going to think of good ones.
Oh,
I like that.
I like that too. Let's get ready. We're going to war on Sunday, boys. Prime time, 8:20, NBC. Let's do this.
Kevin Donaldson says he's a defensive specialist.
Face-off. He's a face-off guru.
So good.
Well, we need a face-off guru.
We do. We're getting better.
Yeah.
Oh! All right. Okay.
Anyways.
Enough, guys. Rustin Burks. Rodgers hate is strong in here. I love it. One segment a day for the rest of the week.
Negative little D.
Negative D.
Hey, we'll call it negative little D. Aaron Rodgers
energy.
Yeah.
There you go. We got it,
The
guys.
Danica Patrick segment.
We appreciate y'all
Guys are the
tapping in.
best.
Appreciate y'all tapping in as always. For DMAC, for San Flannel, for Spencer Raxter. My name's Neal Ruhl. Thanks for watching
Deuces.
Big D Energy on the Woodward Sports Network. Well, see you later.